I'd like to talk to you today about an important aspect on the rubric, which is the discussion area. It's been my pleasure to read many of the discussions that our instructors are holding with their students, and it's my observation that the main part of online learning happens in the discussion board. It's an opportunity to connect personally, and it's also an opportunity to share your information. What I'd like to do is to share with you what I consider to be a best practice, the ABC of discussion board. Letter A, acknowledge. When you're responding to your students, if you could acknowledge in a personal way, this tells the students that you are acknowledging the fact that they've made a contribution. You might say, great post. So glad that you are able to share this information with the colleagues in your class. It's also an opportunity to build upon that rapport and relationship by mentioning an item that might have come up in the topic area for the week. For example, there was a discussion in one of the courses on Facebook, and I'll quote to you a good example. Great post, you bring up many great ideas. Your comments about Facebook users is most insightful. The feature of opt-out is not known by many, and by talking about this policy, it will enlighten many others in the class. A, being acknowledged, very important way to start the discussion post. Second, letter B, is build. In the build area, there is the opportunity to relate back to the course material so that you can test in some ways whether the content is being understood, as well as if the students have completed reading all the assignments and the videos for the week. Using the same example from Facebook, here's a strong comment regarding build. I agree if someone does not want personal information that they share to be on Facebook. To go back to Rawls' veil of ignorance, Facebook should be open to all users, willing to explain all policies freely with no barriers. The opportunity to build upon the discussion helps the student to see the larger proportion of the topic, and it gives you an opportunity, once again, to connect with the content of that week. Finally, letter C. Letter C is probably the place where you can bring in most of the ideas that could build but also expand on the concepts that are brought up in the discussion board. It's a place where you can ask questions and in doing so be able to share your knowledge with the student. For example, in the same Facebook conversation, you might raise a question. Should Facebook provide more information about the opt-out policy? The area of questions in the last part, contribute, is one that many instructors do a very good job with. There are various types of questions that you could ask. Some are informational, but others are more probing. You can ask questions that evaluate, ask the students to analyze more, or even create a new idea. The discussion board is a place that every week you'll have a chance to provide your feedback. It's a great way for adult learners to connect with each other. And as successful instructors in the program, it's one that I'd like you to consider the ABCs, and as simple as that sounds, it has a real strong outcome for you in being successful in your communication with your students. Thanks so much, and best wishes to you on your successful semester.